Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about a play that I have touched base on a lot of times here on the channel. Now I just want to remind you guys that I am on vacation right now, so I'm not at my usual home studio and I'm not able to record the same quality of videos as usual, but I hope that you guys can look past that and still enjoy the information that I'm about to show you on Workhorse stock, as there is a lot to talk about. And we did see a massive sell-off today on their company, almost 50% of their value chopped off. So guys, there is a lot of stuff to talk about with Workhorse. I also want to show you how these key levels held up today during the day and what we can expect coming from Workhorse and their stock maybe in the next few weeks time or even months time if they do look to recover from this terrible thing that happened. Like I just explained, Workhorse stock received a very terrible piece of news today, and that was related to basically the biggest thing surrounding this stock, the USPS contract that they were set to get here, or that they were supposed to be getting within the end of 2021. Now that deadline has been pushed and pushed and pushed, but we did really think that Workhorse was going to be the stock officially getting this deal at the end of the day, and it didn't look like there was any other clear competitors for Workhorse stock. But unfortunately, Oshkosh has come out of absolutely nowhere and taken the contract right from under Workhorse's nose. And as you guys can see, the stock has seen a haircut from around $42 at the highs just a few days ago, all the way to lows of around $15 a share. Now, one of the biggest takeaways that I want you guys to consider from this situation with Workhorse is not only about investing into companies that have a clear plan for the future, but investing into companies that have a secondary plan if their main business function doesn't work out. With Workhorse, they were basically putting all in on this USPS contract, and now that it hasn't worked, you can see how devastating that is for the company. Now, I can name multiple other examples of companies that have tried something new but haven't made it their complete focus, and that's really what happened here with Workhorse and why they're down so bad, why people aren't even willing to buy the dip on this company. You can see that they actually went all the way down below $15, but unfortunately had the strength to buy back up. And I hope that didn't trick any investors or anybody who watches my channel into buying into this Workhorse stock. I'm still basically of the mindset that unless the deal happens, unless there's actually something to buy with this company, then you are literally just buying smoke. And that's exactly what the investors of Workhorse probably feel like right now after this terrible news. Just a simple search of Workhorse news on Google can show us that this company honestly is not having good press right now. And as you can see, the EV maker Workhorse has lost to Oshkosh for the postal contract, and that's going to be something basically hanging over this stock's head for at least the next few months, I would say until the end of 2021. And I wouldn't be surprised if the volume ultimately drops off for this company over the next few days. Now, talking more about the volume, this is going to be one of the biggest reasons why I didn't invest into Workhorse. They also have low volume, and like I've told you guys in the past, stocks with low volume tend to get stuck near breakout and resistance levels, and that's going to be one of the bad things here with Workhorse stock. You can see that they actually tried almost twice, 3 times in the past to break above this $30 level, but were only able to do it recently, early into last week. And as you can see, they did not hold up that price for very long. So that's going to be one of the things that you want to watch out for with companies that have lower volume. They're going to have a harder time breaking resistance levels, having breakouts, and they're also going to have a harder time recovering when there is a big sell-off day. So now getting more into why the volume is going to be extremely important here for Workhorse's stock, we can see that in the past, Workhorse has been a company with not a lot of volume, and usually the big spikes come on the back of news. Now that's when July 20th happened. That's around when September 11th happened here in 2020. You can see that these dates all represent higher volume for Workhorse as well as an increase in price on the graph. But unfortunately, they just cannot hold up this price. And this is a similar situation to Space stock. If you guys remember in the past, I was very bearish on that one, talking about how they weren't going to be able to break through their resistance or breakout levels. But eventually, I switched my tune as soon as I saw the volume pick up and become consistent. And that's something that never happened for Workhorse. You can see here down at the bottom of the chart how flat the volume was on a daily basis for this company, and how crazy it is that the volume only spikes on days when the price is going up or on days when there is news. And that's basically going to clue you in into what type of investors we're really looking at this play. So by looking at this volume here on the chart or lack thereof, we're able to see that there's not a lot of long-term investors here in on Workhorse. And for the most part, the people who did get in got in for one single day in order to make a trade, a one-time day trade, and they were not looking to hold Workhorse for the longer term. Now that's going to be one of the biggest things plaguing the stock. And you can also see that since there wasn't a lot of people holding for the long term, this sell-off from around $30 was absolutely massive and was one of the biggest sell-offs that I have personally seen in just under an hour, and this almost half the price of Workhorse, so much so that they actually had to halt trading on this stock. Now you know that sometimes stocks get halted on the stock market when there is an insane volume or amount of buying and selling for a reason that the market just can't discern. It is not normal trading, and that's exactly what happened with Workhorse today. They did not have normal trading. You can see that they went absolutely down, and so this is nothing to laugh about for the people who lost money, but for those of us who made sure that we were not in on this idea, this is going to be something that we can look on. Big lesson here, and that's what I'm personally going to be taking from this Workhorse trade. I wasn't invested, and I was able to spare myself from a really worrying time, because right now I know that a lot of investors are probably unconfident on whether or not this play could even recover back to $20, $25, or even $30, which is looking very, very unlikely right now. So to conclude, guys, my analysis for Workhorse has not changed. These key levels still keep holding up. You can see $15 holding as the base price right now. Now, unfortunately, if this company does slip under $15, I do not see them stopping all the way till $2 a share, even $5 a share. I wouldn't be surprised if this company continued seeing more selling, as this is basically the one piece of news that was holding them above water here, holding their head above water, and that's going to be very negative for Workhorse going forward into the future, short and long term. So guys, as always, if you have enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe down below. I'm going to be keeping you updated on a lot of your favorite EV names. I'm talking about Workhorse, NIO, etc. But if you've been watching the market over the last few days, you may have seen how a lot of people are leaving NIO, Workhorse, and a lot of these other stocks for CCIV. Now with CCIV, that was a classic situation of buy the rumor and sell the news, and you guys can see how halved the stock price got, almost from around $60 to $30 in a single trading day. So that's the kind of things that can happen if you are not aware of these phenomenon on the stock market, like buying the rumor and selling the news. So be very careful, guys. But in the meantime, that doesn't mean that we cannot scout a minimum price for CCIV and a price that we can feel comfortable hopping in at. So I will have a video coming on that very soon. CCIV, what price I'm watching to buy in for the long term, and how many shares I will be picking up into my personal portfolio. So if you want to make sure you stay up to date with what's going on the channel and catch that video, make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. But as always, I hope all your guys' trades are in the green.